What's up, everybody? I'm a teleworker. Today we're reviewing episode 1 of the Halo Paramount Plus series. Alright, so before I get too far into this, I'm going to say this now. I was wrong. This episode alone, obviously the rest of the show could be a different story, but this episode was really good, dude. I was very shocked by this. I was a person who went into this with the lowest expectations ever because I'm very attached to the games and I was convinced I was going to hate this show. I've watched the episode twice now and I've loved at least 90% of it. There are some minor complaints I have about it, but other than that, it was very enjoyable. I had a good time watching it, and that surprised me a lot. So, I'll be the first to say it. I was wrong. So basically, the show opens up with Quan on Madrigal. Quan is a new character, and she is actually kind of enjoyable. I thought her backstory is very interesting, and I'm curious to see where they go with her. But she doesn't really have much to do in this episode other than be scared. She doesn't really do much. I hope that her character becomes more and more fleshed out as the show goes on, if she lives as the show goes on, because I think that that's kind of up in the air at this point. In the desert on Madrigal, there is like a fortress that Quan's people are staying at, and her father is the general of a refugee camp. And the Covenant shows up and murders all of her friends in front of her in a kick-ass sequence that I was not ready for at all, dude. That first sniper shot that takes that girl's fucking head off, like, I had no idea that this show was gonna be brutal, man. I thought it was gonna be like, you know, fake, really fake looking blood, and like when people would get shot, it'd be like the little laser guns, like doo doo, and then somebody would fall over. I didn't think they were gonna have gore in this shit. But they did, man. They took this shit seriously. Also, this show went to a level of dark that I was not expecting at the start. One of the elites rips open a door and guns down a room full of children. Like defenseless, unarmed children. And I was not expecting that at all. I thought that this show was going to be like a generic, family-friendly, half-assed video game spinoff. But this is like, they went all out for this shit. Now, I will say the CGI is very shaky in some places, but it is a TV show, and every TV show suffers from that at some point. Even massive shows like Walking Dead, there are episodes that if you watch it, the backgrounds and stuff look so fucking fake. And Walking Dead is a massive show. They have a pretty big budget, so unfortunately, it is the struggle that TV shows have to endure. They do not get the same love as movies, and so because they have to space their budget throughout an entire season instead of having a $250 million budget for 2 hours, they have to make it work for like 10 hours or more, however long the season is. So that is a common problem. But ultimately, the special effects weren't that bad. In most cases, I think they hold up pretty well. The fighting, I was very impressed by. I liked the combat, especially with the Spartans. And I really liked when they showed Master Chief's point of view. It has all of the HUD layout of the actual Halo gameplay. It has the motion tracker in the bottom left corner and how much ammo and how much health and things like that. And at one point, Master Chief takes a couple shots and takes cover, and his health bar does the actual classic Halo sound effect when it fills up, which I thought was fucking awesome. It's just a little bit of fan service that didn't need to be there for the show, but I enjoyed it. Master Chief's voice didn't take me as long to get used to as I expected, but it's mostly because of the effect that they put on his voice when he's in the helmet. When he talks outside of the helmet, he sounds a little soft. I know I'll get used to it after a couple episodes, but for now, because I'm used to that really hard Master Chief voice from the games, it is a little weird. But ultimately, that's something I can get over. Halsey was great in this. I really liked her character. I liked how it's very clear that she's keeping secrets from Master Chief, like in the games. And I really like that she's not as good of a person as people think she is. And I also like that the UNSC is not as perfect as they think they are. Um, Everything in the Halo universe has its flaws, and Master Chief is constantly disobeying orders in order to save the universe. So it was really cool to see them carrying on that tradition, that there are people in charge that have flaws. I really liked Silver Team. I thought that their action sequences were fucking awesome, especially I think her name's Kai, but she has the dual magnums, and she has that kick-ass fight scene with the elites as she blows the one's head off with a plasma pistol. That was fucking awesome, dude. The biggest takeaway from this episode for me was the action. I thought that they adapted the Halo action very well. It feels very Halo. Some of the story beats feel a little weak, but this episode was mostly action. So it's kind of just, it sets up the universe, and then you watch like an hour of fighting, which is fine. It's for the first episode, it's fine. But going forward, I will want the show to take the story a little more seriously. Obviously, we want fights. 90% of Halo's gameplay is fighting. The whole first like fucking 20 minutes of this episode is a fight sequence. I will say this, Master Chief's face was not as grizzled and hardened of a man as I had expected. I really thought they were going to put some makeup on him or something to make him look like somebody who had been tortured and experimented on. And he just looks like a normal soldier. Like if you just grabbed one of the background Marine extras and put him in a Spartan suit, that's what Master Chief looks like, which I guess is fine. But it was not what I was expecting. I really thought that he was gonna be like hideously scarred, or he'd have like dark around his eyes like he hadn't slept in months or some shit. But no, he's just a normal guy. The thing I like the most about Master Chief in this version is that this is really early in Master Chief's kind of career. So he doesn't remember anything about his past yet. He doesn't know what Halsey did to him yet, which I'm really excited to get to that episode because I want to see Master Chief's reaction to that. I want to see how the show handles that. They've introduced the MacGuffin, which is the artifact that everyone has to get in every movie. There's always some powerful thing that all the heroes are fighting to protect from the villains. And I'm pretty sure it's Forerunner technology. I could be wrong, but it looks like Forerunner tech. So it could be just like in the games that the Covenant and the UNSC are fighting over Forerunner artifacts that they can use to destroy the other army. Which I'm assuming is what this is for. But overall, I was thoroughly impressed with this episode. I really thought it was going to suck. I went in with super low expectations, and maybe that's why I liked it so much. There are a couple problems I have with this, but nothing too major. I would probably give this like a 7. It could have been better, but it could have been a lot worse. And I was expecting a lot worse, so I'm happy with a 7. That's perfectly fine with me. If the show stays about this level of quality, I could live with it. I won't boycott it or anything. However, this is only the first episode, so anything could go wrong. I'm not going to sit here and say that the show will be perfect for sure, but I'll definitely be watching episode 2. So I guess we'll see what happens. Now I'm going to leave this one here. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you guys thought of Halo Episode 1. Were you happy with Master Chief's face, or did you hate it? Do you think there's anything in the episode that could have been handled better? Was the TV level CGI too bad for you, or could you get over it? And I guess I'll see you guys later.